Welcome to today's broadcast of Carroll High School Athletics. This is CSBN, the Carroll Sports Broadcasting Network, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. Now, here are your Carroll Chargers.
Hello everybody and welcome to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. I'm Matthew James along with
Chris Schutte.
We'll be calling today's game for you between the visiting Homestead Spartans and your Carroll Chargers. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, so we missed the first couple of pitches. But leading off for Homestead will be number 11, Kyle Mohensenzada or something.
Mohensenzada?
Well, the count is 2-1, and on the hill today for your JV Chargers is number 29, Isaac Wagner. The pitch to Mohensenzada is a breaking ball over the outside corner that is swung on and missed for strike 2. The 2-2 pitch from Wagner is swung on and fouled back by Mohensenzada. Wagner on the season, this is his 6th game. He is 2-2. He's thrown a lot of innings, 29 and a third so far. And the pitch is again fouled back down the third base line. And he has a very good 2.86 ERA and has 21 strikeouts against just 8 walks. And opponents are hitting .261 off of him. The pitch is taken a little bit inside the fastball, misses, and that brings the count full. This is going to tie him with Trevor Snyder for most appearances pitching so far. And there's a breaking ball. Mohensenzada out in front of it, but still manages to foul it off. So it remains a full count, as there are a lot of people here at the high school athletic facilities with the soccer game going on behind us. But that brought a lot of fans over here. As another pitch fouled off by Mohensenzada, and he's doing a really good job of staying alive.
Yeah.
The fighting has been very good. Out in the field for Carroll, Trevor Snyder's playing third. And kind of hard to see the numbers from here, but
looks like Keegan Nichols at short.
The pitch from Wagner is swung on and missed by Mohensenzada. The ball gets away from the catcher, but he makes the tag anyway. So after a good at-bat, there is an eventual strikeout. It is Nichols at second, and Sam Williams is Nichols at short, and Sam Williams at second. And
looks like Matt Meals at first.
Yep, I think you're right.
Looks like Taylor Goshen in left.
Yeah, he was on the varsity team a little while ago as a pitcher. And that will bring up number 10, Luke Landrigan. And he rips the first pitch past third baseman Trevor Snyder. And down the line, he is rounding first, and it looks like he will get into second as Goshen wasn't very quick in getting the ball back in there.
He's a big boy. He's not the most nimble of outfielders.
Well, it is Meals at first. Goshen's in left, and
runner in center.
Yep. So interesting. I'm used to him playing first base. And who's that in right?
It's like Matt Kent in right.
He's tall.
He is tall.
So the pitch to number 2, McLean Trigloff, is inside. So Homestead has a runner in scoring position early with the double from Landrigan on the first pitch, and the count on Trigloff is 1-0. Second pitch to him, he's out in front of, grounds it to third. It's going to be a tough play, and nobody's going to get there, so that will be an infield hit for Trigloff. And Homestead now has runners on the corners with just one out. Carroll is in an early jam. So that will bring up the cleanup hitter, number 4, Brad Hartman, one of the 3 juniors on the Homestead junior varsity team, along with many sophomores. They do not have any freshmen on their JV team. The first offering to Hartman from Wagner is hit out into left field. Goshen running, and he will not get there. That will bring home one. That will advance Trigloff to second, and Homestead has an early 1-0 lead. Isaac Wagner has not looked very good here to start the game, and people are getting some good hits off of him.
Yeah, last 3 batters have all been swinging. First pitch and Olive connected for singles on it.
So that will bring up Number 8, Brandon Miller. He stands back a little far on the batter's box, close to the catcher. Runners are on first and second, still one out, and Homestead already up 1-0, as he fouls off the first pitch back behind the catcher. So 0-1 count. Wagner has been good so far this season for Carroll, but is not off to a very good start here today. Ahead 0-1 low on Miller. Sets, checks on the runners, and now into the windup. The pitch is a breaking ball, low and away for ball 1. What did you think of Wagner's breaking ball?
It looks good, a little bit low. He's shown pretty good control so far. It's just the Homestead batters have been able to connect and get base hits off of him.
He hasn't quite had the velocity that Carroll's been hoping for, and the Homestead hitters have been able to take advantage, no doubt. So a 1-1 count on Miller. Wagner steps off to keep Trigloff from getting any ideas over at second. Lose a runner in scoring position along with the runner at first, Hartman. And looking at now, the pitch from Wagner is inside. Good attempt to frame, but unsuccessful, and it is a 2-1 count now on Miller. Miller's a big guy, one of the 3 juniors. He is 6'1", so he'll have a little bit of a taller strike zone. So the 2-1 offering from Wagner is swung on and dribbled foul down the third base line. And the runners will go back to first and second, and that will make it a 2-2 count now on Miller. Wagner has given up 29 hits and 29 in the third inning, so a little less than a hit an inning, which is good. But today he has not had that, let's say, good stuff. His command has been good. He's been throwing strikes, but he's just not been able to fool the hitters. And a pickoff move to second, and a good stop from Nichols, but could not get Trigloff in time. I'm wondering if there's a relation between Trigloff and a Trigloff that was on Norwell that I was there for a couple weeks ago, because they have the same spelling. And that breaking ball is in there, over at the knees on the inside corner for strike 3. That was a good breaking ball from Wagner.
Yeah, he's shown that he's been able to control it. It's just a matter of if he can put it in the right spot and get it past the hitters.
So that will bring up number 1, Ben Lemke. 5'10", one of the many sophomores on the team. And the first pitch to Lemke is bounced in the dirt. Good stop to keep the runners at first and second. So Wagner falls behind 1-0. He's gotten some first pitch strikes, but not a lot so far. So the 1-0 offering to Lemke is well inside. Another good stop, and it is a 2-0 count now. Wagner has definitely kept a close eye on the runners, especially Trigloff at second base. He's already thrown back there once. The 2-0 offering to Lemke is taken over the outside corner for a strike. So the count goes to 2-1. Wagner has not had a 3-ball count yet, I believe. Nope, he's had 1. The leadoff hitter.
Count, yep.
But showing pretty good control so far. 2-1 pitch to Lemke is a breaking ball low for ball 3. So a 3-1 count as he falls behind, and if he walks Lemke, that will load the bases. Homestead definitely has a possibility for a big inning here. The 3-1 offering from Wagner is swung on and missed. Good sinking fastball from Wagner, and that will bring the count full with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Trigloff on second and Hartman at first. So Wagner sets, checks on the runners, and into the windup. The runners are going, and it is swung on and fouled off down the first base line, hitting one of the light poles down there. Don't see that every day.
Matt Kent making a nice run over to the foul line to retrieve it.
Good hustle there. He hasn't seen a lot of activity in right field. It's been more in front of Goshen and left, and Goshen does not have a lot of speed out there. So it remains a full count. Runners still on first and second. They are going, and the pitch is hit to Snyder at third, making the throw across the diamond, and it is right on target to Meals at first. Good throw from Snyder, and that will end the top of the first inning. Wagner limits the damage, but Homestead gets on the board first. They have a 1-0 lead after half an inning. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Just about set for the bottom of the first inning. The visiting Spartans ahead of your Chargers 1-0 after half an inning. And on the hill today for the visiting Spartans is number 7, Damon Larkey, another sophomore, 5'10". So, pretty average height, not an imposing physical player, but he's thrown with pretty good velocity in his warm-ups. And you look at one there, pretty good control. He seems to throw a bit of a cut fastball. Seems to have some late break on it, and that's going to make it tough for the hitters to hit, especially on the righties or on the lefties when it jams in on them like that. So the first hitter is ready to step into the batter's box, as we will get to see Sam Williams lead off for the Chargers today. He is playing second base.
He's one of their better hitters, I believe.
Sam Williams is hitting .446 on the season with a .557 on-base percentage. Pretty impressive. He has no home runs and 9 RBIs on the season, and he takes the first pitch breaking ball down and away for ball 1.
He's got good numbers for a leadoff hitter. You always want your leadoff.
He fits the bill for a good leadoff hitter. He's got 8 doubles, 3 triples. He's been very productive in the leadoff spot. A little out in front of the changeup there, though. Fouls it off for strike 1. A 1-1 count. It seems that Larkey has a good repertoire out on the mound. He's shown a cutter, a fastball, a changeup, and a curveball so far in the game, and through his warm-up pitches we have seen. Williams also has a very high slugging percentage and a very high OPS, and he takes a breaking ball there for strike 2. That one looked a little bit low from our vantage point, but nevertheless it is a 1-2 count on Williams. Into the windup is Larkey, and the pitch is a breaking ball down and away. Good eye from Williams.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to chase that one, but he stayed home.
He's done a good job. He's got a pretty good eye, and he's doing a good job refraining from those breaking balls. 2-2 count, and the pitch from Larkey is a changeup, and that one he couldn't keep himself from going around, and that will be a strikeout, his 4th of the season. It's more efficient than Drew Tranquil has been in the leadoff spot for the varsity, Carroll, for the varsity Chargers, but he was dropped down to the number 9 hitter in the order for that reason. They've been using Connor Hansen as the leadoff hitter.
Interesting.
That will bring up the only left-handed batter on the team, Luke Brunner. So there is another one of my kind out there. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 1. That was a fast breaking ball that was low, but Brunner chased it anyway. He's got a lot of height, 6'2", and he can play many positions as he takes that fastball a little up and away for ball 1. Brunner on the season is hitting .273 with a .365 on base percentage. The pitch from Larkey is up and in on Brunner for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Brunner does not have a home run, and he has 9 RBIs on the season. Larkey into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and hit down the first baseline. Fair, could not be stopped. Nope, foul ball. Ooh, it looked like it was fair from here. Looked like it got past first, but sorry for my premature excitement. And it is a 2-2 count on Brunner. Brunner is one of the many freshmen on this team. There are 6 sophomores, but there are a lot of freshmen. And he hits this one out to third, and it gets past the third baseman, Brandon Miller. Good job by the shortstop, Hartman, to back him up, but it will nevertheless be an infield single for Brunner. So with one out, they have a runner on first, and that will bring up Matt Kent, who is hitting .406 here with a .441 on base percentage. He's walked just twice. He has 9 RBIs on the season. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball down and away. Almost got past the catcher, and a good stop was made there.
He's gotten a couple appearances on the varsity team, getting some innings pitched too.
He has, but he wasn't quite as successful at that level.
Yeah.
He will almost surely be a player on the varsity team next season. As there was a pickoff throw over to try to get Brunner, he is back in there safely. Brunner has 2 stolen bases on the season. The speediest player is Sam Williams with 8. And the pitch from the stretch from Larkey is again outside for ball 2. That fastball. It's almost like they're doing unintentional pitch outs here. They're keeping a close eye on Brunner. So it is a 2-0 count. Kent is a big player. He is 6'4".
There's a lot of tall kids on this team.
I would not be one of them if I played. Another pitch down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. And we'll see if Kent follows the golden rule here, not swinging on the 3-0 pitch. And Larkey seems to have lost a little bit of his command that he had when facing Williams. And the pitch to him is again down and away. It gets past the catcher, but it won't matter. Runner would have made second anyway on the 4-pitch walk. And now Carroll has runners on first and second with just 1 out. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter, number 20. It's Trevor Snyder, I apologize for the delay. He is hitting .298 on the season with a .421 on base percentage. He hasn't had a ton of at-bats, a little less than some of the other regulars, but he does have 2 home runs and just 4 RBIs, which is a little surprising. But he is one of the power hitters here. And the first pitch is high, maybe a little inside also. It is ball 1. And Larkey has not looked very good here for Homestead. After striking out Williams, he has surrendered a hit, a walk, and he has not thrown a strike now in 6 pitches. There's another pitch, and Brunner is going to third. Both runners advance. So 2 runners in scoring position for Carroll on a ball outside and down, a little low, so it is a 2-0 count on Snyder. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position with Brunner at third and Kent at second. Very dangerous situation here. Carroll could have a big inning. Larkey is into the windup, and the pitch is finally a strike at the knees over the inside corner. So a 2-1 count on Snyder now. He's also one of the pitchers on this team and one of the more successful ones. So sometimes he won't hit. And that one, he swings over the changeup from Larkey. Good pitch. And it is a 2-2 count. So Larkey's rebounded nicely here after allowing 6 straight balls. And the pitch is hit foul down the right field line by Snyder. And it will remain a 2-2 count. He is one of the regulars on this team. He along with Brunner are the only 2 to play in all 18 games for Carroll so far this season. So he is a regular in the lineup. The 2-2 pitch from Larkey is swung on and ripped into right center field, cut off by the center fielder, but that will score 2 runs, and Trevor Snyder has a 2 RBI single. So he just ripped that ball. He did not hesitate at all. And he shows why he's one of the more dangerous hitters in the lineup. So he's on first, and that will bring up number 23, Matthew Mills. He also is one of the power hitters. He's the number 5 hitter in the lineup. He has 2 home runs and 15 RBIs, team leading and in the RBI category. The first pitch is up and in with the fastball. However, Mills' average is not very high, just .236 with a .300 on base percentage. So both are pretty low there. The 1-0 count, and he swings and hits a chopper to third. Good stop by Hartman, and he will get the force at second, getting Snyder by a step. And Mills will be safe at first on the fielder's choice, but that will make it 2 down here. Carroll is leading 2-1, and now coming up is number 30, Taylor Goshen. He's been on the varsity team for a little while, so it's a little bit strange to see him down here. He was a good pitcher, successful at the varsity level, but he wasn't a very good hitter. And the pickoff moving on Niels is unsuccessful. Niels has 2 stolen bases on the season for the JV Chargers. He is on first, and Damon Larkey's keeping a close eye on him. The pitch to Goshen is swung on and hit into deep right center field, going back at the warning track wall, and it's going to one-hop off the wall. Goshen is rounding first. He will get very slowly into second, and Matt Niels will come around from first to score the third run of the game for the Chargers. And that will bring up number 12, Corey McCrae.
Nice.
Haven't seen him play yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does.
Is he must be DHing for... He might be DHing for Wayne... Nope, Wayne Lewis is on deck.
Easy. I'm not sure who he'd be DHing for, but we'll figure that out. First pitch to him is a ball, apparently. It looked like a strike from here, but it was just a little bit inside. Good location with the fastball. Larkey's been able to find the plate more, but now is surrendering some hits, as that pitch is over the head of McCrae, and that is 2 balls and no strikes.
I believe McCrae is DHing for the pitcher Isaac Wagner.
It's possible. We haven't seen him yet. And the pitch from Larkey is swung on and fouled back by McCrae. 2-1 count.
McCrae stands at 5'5". That could be a little generous.
I stand pretty close to him in height, so I'm 5'4", so it's probably pretty accurate. The pitch from Larkey is a breaking ball. That one was at the knees over the outside corner for strike 2. On the season, McCrae is hitting .300 with a .475 on base percentage, so a good hitter. He is. And he has no homers and 5 RBIs as he swings that and pops up the pitch down the first base line. Chasing it is the first baseman Alex Weaver, but he could not get to it. So back to second goes Goshen, and it will remain a 2-2 count on McCrae. He has played in 12 games. This will be his 13th, so he plays about 2/3 of the time. And the pitch to him is swung on and hit into right field, but Lemke camping out under it, and he will make the catch. But Carroll still has 3 runs in the inning, and they will take a 3-1 lead into the second. We'll be right back at the top of the second inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Isaac Wagner about to throw the first pitch of the second to Alex Weaver, and he throws a fastball up and in for ball 1. Weaver is playing first base tonight for Homestead, and he rips the second pitch into left. Goshen is going to take it after 1 bounce, but it is a leadoff single for Weaver anyway. So the second pitch of the second inning is whipped into left, and that will bring up number 20, Ryan Stevens. We haven't seen him yet. He hasn't had any activity out in the field, but since there's already a runner on, this could be a potentially dangerous inning. Wagner sets, and the first pitch to Stevens is ripped out in the left field over the head of Goshen. It's going to get all the way to the warning track. Already on third is Weaver, and he will be held up there, so it will be a double for Ryan Stevens. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out already here in the second inning. So Carroll already up 3-1. That might not last too much longer. And now Nick Mara is up for Homestead. Another one of the sophomores. He's 5'9", and I believe he's catching tonight for Homestead. Wagner sets. Won't have to worry about any steals here in the situation. And the first pitch is swung on and missed on the sinker. Good pitch for strike 1. So it is an 0-1 count now on Wagner has been hit pretty hard in this game. He was able to limit the damage to just one run in the first, but it doesn't look like that will happen as he throws a pickoff move to third. Interesting idea. But Weaver is back in there safely. But that's a little bit of a risky play because if it gets past Snyder, the runner will probably get home and score. So the 0-1 offering to Mara is a fastball inside for ball one. A 1-1 count on Stevens. Wagner has not been overpowering in this game at all. He's gotten two strikeouts, but those are on breaking balls, and he throws one there that is down and in, for ball two. So 2 balls and a strike now on Marr. And Wagner, he hasn't been throwing quite hard enough because a lot of his pitches are just getting hit hard into the outfield. And that pitch is down and in for ball 3, a 3-1 count now on Marr, as there's a little bit of trouble with the scoreboard. It says it's 6-1, even though there's only 3 runs in the first inning for Carroll. And the pitch from Wagner is ripped between the hole in short and third. 1 run comes and scores, and Stevens will stop at third, but a third consecutive hit for Homestead. That will put runners on the corners with still nobody out, and Homestead has cut the lead to 3-2. This could be a dangerous inning. Wagner has got to calm down here. They haven't warmed up anybody yet, but that could come pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't think it's late enough to start warming someone up.
And he does the old Jeff Nelson third to first move. Everybody credits him with starting that. He was an old Yankee pitcher that retired a few years ago. So now he sets and throws the first pitch, which is bunted foul by Mosenzato, who is back up. So the top of the order back up already here in the second inning. There are runners on first and third with nobody out, and Homestead's already been able to cut the lead to 3-2. And they have a very good opportunity to tie the game or take the lead, or both, at some point in the inning. But if you're Wagner, you want a hard ground ball to second or short, and he throws a pickoff move, and back in there safely is Marr.
That was a good move. I thought he might have had him there.
It was definitely close. It'd take a lot for them to turn a double play. If they do get one, they'd still concede a run, but it'd get 2 outs. The pitch to Mosenzato is up and in for ball 1, and a 1-1 count is now on Mosenzato, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. He's a pretty good contact hitter. He was able to foul off 3 or 4 pitches in a row before finally striking out to Wagner, and that pitch hits him in the back. Ouch, but he's able to shake it off. He runs down to first with no problem. And that will load the bases now as they have Stevens on third, Morrow on second, Mosenzato on first, and that will bring up number 10, Luke Landrigan, who hit a long double back in the first inning. And there are still no outs here in the second inning. The score is still momentarily 3-2 Carroll. Another pickoff move, and Niels is not able to handle it, but it doesn't get far enough away from him for Stevens to score. It was a pretty good, accurate throw. Just Niels couldn't quite hold on to it. He seemed to be in a little bit of a rush.
Yeah, he might not have been paying attention. He's not holding him on, so he might have put him off guard.
I wouldn't throw a pickoff move with the bases loaded like this. And the first pitch is another fastball up and in on Landrigan. So he doubled and scored in his first at-bat on the first pitch. He's a pretty free swinger, as we saw in batting practice. And Wagner's second pitch to him is swung on and fouled back to the backstop. And it is a 1-1 count now on Landrigan. Sorry again for the pause. A little bit slow this morning.
Evening.
Well, I was slow this morning, too. It carries on the rest of the day. So a 1-1 count to Landrigan, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Good sinker from Wagner, and it is a 1-2 count. He could definitely use a strikeout here.
I pitch looked like it had some pretty good velocity on it.
He seemed to reach back in the tank there to get the strike, and it worked. He should throw that a little more often. This sinker's been effective. And the pitch is a breaking ball at the knees. That one was a very good pitch. And that is a big strikeout for Wagner, and that is out number 1. Now, if you're Wagner, you're trying to get another ground out, or another strikeout, a pop-up, or a grounder, and if you can get a ground out, try to get it home to Lewis there at the plate to get the force out with not allowing a run. That will bring up the number 3 hitter, McLean Trigloff. In his first at-bat, he singled and got to second base, but was stranded there. And the first pitch to him was up and in for a ball. That's where Wagner's missed with a lot of his pitches so far. The 1-0 offering to Trigloff is fouled up high, and Lewis is trying, not going to get there. So it is a 1-1 count. That ball was able to find its way out of play, barely. Trigloff was a little bit under that. He is 6 foot, so he's got a bigger strike zone. He's got more power. He is the number 3 hitter for the Homestead Spartans. And the 1-1 offering with 1 out here and the bases loaded is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Trigloff has been pretty quick with the trigger. He swings a very good bat, but he's just not been able to quite get around on Wagner this at bat, and that fastball backs him up off the plate inside, and that brings the count to 3-1. And another ball will force in a run, and if you're Wagner, you have just got to concentrate on throwing a strike. So 3-1 count on Trigloff, and the pitch is up high for ball 4, and that will force in the tying run. The score is 3-3, and the bases are still loaded, and that will bring off the cleanup hitter, Brad Hartman, who is pretty short to be a cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
But he hit a high fastball into deep right center in his first at-bat, so he is a dangerous hitter. So an unearned run was scored there on Wagner with the walk, and the base is still loaded, and Hartman hits the first pitch into center field. Camping out under it is Brunner, and he ranges over a couple steps, but tagging up is Marr, and he will score the leading, will give Homestead the lead, and that will make it a 4-3 game now. Homestead back in front, and there is some activity in the Charger bullpen.
Looks like Blake Jackson, I believe.
Yep, you want to talk about tall.
Yeah,
My goodness, 6'5".
He's long too.
So there are runners on first and second now. That was still a big out by Wagner, as there's still plenty of opportunities for Homestead, as Brandon Miller back up, and the throw down to first is not in time. Back in there safely is Trigloff, and the pitch was upstairs for ball 1.
That was a pretty weak throw by Lewis, not to bash on him or anything, but I feel like he could have put a little more on it and might have had a chance to get Trigloff at first.
And another pitch down low and stealing, and they are going to pull off the double steal, and again, the throw down to third was a little bit soft.
Yeah.
It was just high, and that's going to give the runner a lot of time to get in. So Mosenzato and Trigloff steal a base, and now there are 2 runners in scoring position on second and third with 2 outs, and the 2-0 offering is swung on and dribbled to third. Snyder is going to get it and throw across his body, and a nice pick is made by Matthew Mills at first base, and that will end the top of the second inning. The score is the visiting Spartans 4, York Carroll Chargers 3. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Just about set for the bottom of the second inning. The score, Homestead leading your Chargers 4-3. Due up first for your Chargers is number 7, Wayne Lewis, who has been catching today and takes the first pitch breaking ball from Larky down and away for ball 1. What have your impressions of Larky been so far?
He's shown a pretty nice breaking ball, as we saw there.
Fastball there is at the knees for strike 1.
he had a brief stint early in the first inning where he struggled to throw some strikes, but he really showed composure and was able to get out of the jam after Goshen's double.
That pitch was upstairs for ball 2. His control has been a little bit wild in this game, no doubt. He's thrown a few balls here, a few strikes here. It's been on and off all over the place, and that pitch is a bloop single between second and center for Lane Lewis, and he will get on to lead off the second inning for the Chargers. Good, always a good start. And that will bring up number 15, Keegan Nichols, who's playing shortstop today for the Chargers. And then the top of the order will come up after that with Williams, Brunner, and Kent.
More tall. Nichols is about, what is he?
6'2".
6'2"?
I know him. He doesn't look quite as, he looks a little bit shorter than 6'2", but he's definitely tall. And he bunts that one foul. So it is an 0-1 count. He's one of the more athletic players on the team, I'd say.
Yeah, he's a very good athlete. He's very solid in basketball, too.
Yep. Not all these there are a few players on the baseball team here that play JV for basketball also. So a lot of multi-sport athletes. 0-1 pitch, and the pickoff move is unsuccessful, trying to get Lane Lewis over at first. Lewis is not a huge threat to steal, but he does have one stolen base on the season. The 0-1 offering to Nichols is a strike over the outside corner. He pulled back on the bunt attempt, and it will be quickly 0-2 on Nichols. Nichols is hitting .280 on the season with a .308 on-base percentage, no home runs, and 9 RBIs.
Not terrible numbers here. They're not bad.
Nope, a lot of players seem to have 9 RBIs on this team.
Yeah.
As he swings at the curveball and taken by Larkey for 1 over to first, and that will be a double play, very well executed by Larkey, so for the 1-6-3 double play. You don't see that too often at the high school level, especially in JV.
Yeah.
That was good fundamental defense there. And now the base paths are empty with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, and the Chargers trailing by a run. Sam Williams is up for the second time, and he takes the first pitch a little bit high for ball 1. Williams, in his first at bat, he struck out, and then there was a throw down to first that was in time, and the bullpen was still going during all that, and he rips that pitch to third. Good backhanded stop and throw across the diamond in time from Miller.
That was a nice play.
And again, we've seen some good defense now here from Carroll, and after 2, the Chargers trail the Homestead Spartans 4-3. We'll be right back with the third inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Well, Isaac Wagner is still on the hill, and to start the top of the third, he will face Ben Lemke, the right fielder. First pitch is a breaking ball down and in on Lemke for ball 1. This game's moved slower than a lot of the other games we've called recently, as Wagner. Second pitch is another breaking ball low, 2 balls and no strikes.
It's not a slow game, but it's definitely not a quick game. I'd say it's right about on average.
And that pitch is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner at the knees for strike 1. 2-1 count on Lemke, and the pitch is hit hard to second base, but fielded cleanly by Williams, and he throws it over to Beals at first for the first out of the inning.
We've seen some good defense here by both sides. We haven't had any errors yet, so nice, good, clean baseball.
You don't see that a lot in the JV game, no errors so far. But that has been good defense, and that will bring up Alex Weaver, number 23. And the first pitch to him is a fastball inside for ball 1. In his first at bat, he singled and scored back in the second inning. Wagner back into the windup, and the pitch is swung on, hit to third. Snyder couldn't quite get to it. Nichols fields it cleanly, throws across the diamond, and another good throw to Mills for out number 2.
we were talking about speed of the game. We said it wasn't going very fast, but Wagner's thrown 4 pitches so far in this inning. He's already got 2 outs.
Well, the difference in this inning is that he's been getting the hitters to hit the ball on the ground instead of in the air for long hits, which makes a pretty big difference. And that will bring up Ryan Stevens, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball over the outside corner for strike 1. In his first at-bat, Stevens doubled and scored. The second pitch to him is over the head. Not showing a lot of control on that pitch was Wagner, and that brings up a 1-1 count on Stevens. Wagner quickly into the windup. The pitch is fouled back right into the Carroll dugout.
All the players just start scattering.
Well, that's a good, shows they're paying attention though.
Yeah.
They all got out of the way.
But I would have hit one of them right in the gut.
So a 1-2 count on Stevens, and the breaking ball is down and in for ball 2. So that will make it a 2-2 count on Stevens. Wagner quickly back into the windup. The pitch is swung on and hit into right field. Going back at the warning track, and it hits off the wall, throwing back in quickly, and that will limit Stevens to a double, but that shows some damage, and the right fielder Kent gets it back in there pretty quickly. But now there is a runner on second with 2 outs for number 21, Nick Marr. And in his first at-bat, he singled and scored the third of 4 Homestead runs.
It looked like Kent might have lost that one in the sun. He started to come forward, but then he started to backtrack and eventually lost it.
And the first pitch to Marr is a fastball at the knees for strike 1. I don't think he was going to get to that one anyway because it did hit off the wall. But I do agree. He did seem to misjudge it a little. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball down low for ball 1. And a 1-1 count is now on Marr. Wagner on the season has been much better than he's been showing on the mound today. He has a 2-2 record, but a ERA under 3, but that's going to go up today, as that pitch was down and in for ball 2. So a 2-1 count on Marr. Wagner checks on the runner at second, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back by Marr. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Wagner is 1 pitch away from having a clean third inning, even after allowing the double from Stevens. Wagner is set, looks at the runner, and into the windup. The pitch is popped up into the infield, and calling it is Williams. He will make the catch for out number 3. So after 2.5, the score remains 4-3. Homestead leading your Chargers. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 3rd inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. 2 up for the Chargers are the 2-3-4 hitters, Luke Brunner, Matt Kent, and Trevor Snyder. First, Brunner, he singled and scored the first Carroll run back in the 1st inning. And back on the hill is Damon Larkey, who's pitched 2 innings of 3-run ball. Not great ERA there either. So that'd be a 10.5 ERA through 7 innings. But he did get a clean 2nd inning, and the first pitch to Brunner is bounced in the dirt for ball 1. So Brunner ahead 1-0. He is hitting .273 on the season, and is one of the 2 players that has played in every game so far this season for the Chargers. The other one is Trevor Snyder, as the catcher comes out to talk with Larkey out on the mound, says a quick word to him there. And what do you think was said to him, to Larkey there? His control has been scattered.
Yeah, I think he was just telling him to settle down.
That might have worked, as the sinking fastball is swung over top of Bob Brunner, and that makes it a 1-1 count. Larkey into the windup quickly, and that one is ripped up the middle, and that will get between second and short, and Brunner's on for the 2nd time in this game with another single.
He's got a nice, good, clean lefty swing. He's got pretty good bat speed, and I believe he's hit both of his singles right back up the middle.
He has hit them hard on the ground, but there's no problem with that. Yeah. And that will bring up Matt Kent. He is hitting .406 on the season, and he walked and eventually scored in his first at-bat. Larkey is set, checks on Brunner, and the first pitch to Kent is a fastball by him for strike one. Kent has 9 RBIs on the season, and he, Blake Jackson, Keegan Nichols, Luke Brunner, and Sam Williams all have 9 RBIs.
Spread the love.
Only one player has more than that. That's Matthew Mills. He has 15. So the 0-1 pitch to Kent is getting ready. Brunner's got a decent lead there on first. Looks over, and the pitch to Kent is a breaking ball down and away for ball 1. A 1-1 count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The score is Homestead 4, Carroll 3. But Carroll does have the leadoff man on, Brunner over there at first. And Kent is a big hitter. Larkey sets, and Brunner is going, and Kent swings over top of the pitch. Brunner is in there safely for his third stolen base of the season. That will put a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Kent was not able to do the hit part of the hit and run there, but the run still worked.
Yeah, he kind of had this swing, or he would have left Brunner out to dry.
So that makes it a 1-2 count, and the pitch from Larkey is swung on and fouled off. That remains 1-2. With Brunner on second, and Brunner's, I don't think he'll be running to third here. It's easier for the catcher to make that throw to third. But we'll see if he tries for another stolen base. Larkey's looking at him, and the pitch to Kent jams him in on the hands. He fouls it off down the right field line, out of play. Kent's doing a good job fighting to stay alive here. Mm-hmm. He's a decent fielder. He's played third for the varsity Chargers a couple times in the season for Ross Coble. And the pitch from Larkey is a changeup that is well outside, bringing the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kent, one of the many freshmen on this team, and he is 6'4". Larkey sets into the windup, and it jams Kent again. He will again hit it foul down the right field line, and the count remains full with nobody out here in the bottom of the third.
He's got a nice at-bat going on here.
He's done a good job fighting to stay alive. I agree with that. And Larkey is getting the signs from his catcher. Sets quickly, and into the windup. Kent rips it into center field, and that will one hop in front of Mosenzatta, and that will allow Brunner to advance to third base. So runners are on the corners with nobody out here for the cleanup hitter, Trevor Snyder.
That was nice base running there by Brunner. He didn't want to get too far off the bag just in case Mosenzatta would have made the catch. And
smart base running. There's still no outs in the inning with Brunner on third, Kent on first. And Trevor Snyder, a very good hitter, hitting over 300 now with this hit in the first inning, with 2 home runs and now 6 RBIs, with his 2 RBI single back in the first. As there's a little bit of a delay here now, Larkey will step on the mound, looking over at the runner at first, and he is into the windup. The first pitch to Snyder is hit a fly ball into right center, and the catch will be made by Mosenzatta. Brunner is tagging, and he will score the tying run. And that will tie the game at 4. Kent stayed on first, but that will be an RBI for Snyder. And that will bring up Matthew Meals, who is hitting just .236 on the season. He grounded into a fielder's choice, but eventually scored in the first inning.
sounds like there's a goal in the soccer game.
Yes, we heard some enthusiasm behind us. Meals has 2 homers and 15 RBIs on the season. The first pitch to him is swung on and hit into right field. Lemke coming on, and he will make the catch for out number 2.
looks like that sun might be causing a little bit of problems for the right fielders. We saw Kent misjudge one, and it looked like Lemke might have taken a wrong step in that direction, but recovered and was able to make the play.
So that will make it 2 down here on the bottom of the third inning. The score tied at 4, and Matt Kent is on first, and that will bring up Taylor Goshen. And the pickoff move, that one was close, but Kent goes back in there safely. Goshen doubled back in the first inning. He's a pretty good bat. He's not a great speedster. So he doesn't have a great range in the field. Kent is going, and Goshen drills it in on the hit and run. Mosenzato drifts over and makes the catch in center for out number 3. But Carroll scores 1 run to tie the game at 4, and after 3, that is the score 4-4. We'll be right back with the top of the 4th here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Just about set for the top of the 4th inning. The score tied at 4, and due up for Homestead is the top of the order: Mosenzato, Landrigan, and Trigloff. Mosenzato in the game has struck out and been hit by a pitch. So this is his 3rd at bat, and Wagner is still on the hill after at a much better 3rd inning. And the first pitch to Mosenzato is up and in for ball 1. How long do you think Wagner is going to stay in the game?
I think it just depends on his performance.
And that pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. As there is a little bit of activity in the Homestead bullpen. Number 14, Justin Jones, is up and throwing. And the pitch is swung on and hit into right. Kent is going to drift over and make the catch. And that will be out number 1 on Mosenzato. And that will bring up number 10, Luke Landrigan, who has doubled and struck out in the game for Homestead. He hit a very hard ball that one hopped off the wall in left back in the first inning. 1 out, bases empty for Homestead. The score tied at 4. The first pitch to Landrigan is popped up, and a diving attempt by Mills. He just missed it. He's a little mad at himself. He thought he should have had it, but could not quite get there. 0-1 count on Landrigan, and that was a good effort.
Yeah, he's shown that he's a pretty solid defensive player. He's had a couple nice scoops off of some errant throws, and he's got some pretty good speed, as you saw there. He got over to the foul line pretty quickly.
He has 2 stolen bases, and that pitch from Wagner is a fastball that was swung on and missed by Landrigan for strike 2. So an 0-2 count now, and Wagner quickly resets and throws a fastball that was just off the plate. That one looked like it was right down Broadway from here.
It seems like umpires are a little hesitant to ring batters up like that.
So a 1-2 count, and Landrigan fouls the ball off out of play for the count to remain at 1-2. Wagner quickly set again. Landrigan set in the box, and Wagner already in his windup. The pitch is swung on and again fouled back out of play. So it is still 1-2 on Landrigan. Jones is throwing pretty hard over there for Homestead in the bullpen, and Wagner is set into the windup. The pitch is high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Landrigan. Landrigan, as we said, is 1 for 2. He has scored a run in the game, and again fouls this one back out of play behind us. So the guy going to get the balls out there behind the plate is going to be pretty busy. He can get 3.
Yeah, he's getting his workout.
So it is still a 2-2 count. Landrigan fighting to stay alive, and he rips it. A liner between short and third. Goshen stops it in left, and that will limit Landrigan to a single for his 2nd hit of the game. And you don't see that every day. Keegan Nichols throws to Lane Lewis, who was covering first, and they almost had Landrigan at first. You don't see the catcher at first base very often. When have you seen a recorded 6-2 at first base?
I'm sure you could Google it, but I can't recall any off of.
Well, I've seen that at home before, but not at first base.
Yeah, not a play at first.
So Nichols does have a couple of assists in this game at short, and there was a pickoff move to try to get Landrigan, and the first pitch to McLean Trigloff is inside a strike over the inside corner at the knees. Good location. So an 0-1 count with a runner on first and one out in the top of the fourth. The pitch to Trigloff is golfed foul, and I think that one hit the ump. Nope, doesn't look like it. And on the play, Landrigan advances to second, and now Lewis is going to go out and talk with Wagner. What do you think he's telling him?
I couldn't tell you. Seemed like he's been pretty good in this inning so far. He's been throwing strikes and getting outs, so I don't know.
He seems to have calmed down a little bit from his first two innings, which were subpar. But there is a runner in scoring position with just one out here in the fourth inning. The score tied at 4. McLean Trigloff is behind 0-2. And Wagner's set. Not looking over at the runner at second, Landrigan. He was running, by the way, and he is going to get into third without a throw from Lewis on the pitch up and in.
That was a nice heads-up play. Wagner was going from the windup, so it gave Landrigan extra time to get over to third.
Yeah, he should have been pitching from the stretch.
Yeah.
So a 1-2 count now, and the pitch from Wagner is swung on and hit into pretty deep center. Brunner is racing, and it is just over his head. It's going to one hop, and he will throw it in quickly, but nevertheless, Trigloff has an RBI double, and Homestead is back in front, 5-4.
Seeing a lot of offense in this game.
It's only in the fourth inning, so the pitching has not been great, as you said. And there is still a runner in scoring position, Trigloff, and he, as one of the faster players, could be a stolen base threat. That will bring up Brad Hartman, who in his at-bats has singled and flew out to center. First pitch to him bounces past the catcher, Lewis, and Trigloff is going to get into third without a throw. And that is where Wagner's been having problems. His control has been sporadic.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Blake Jackson's going to grab his glove and maybe warm up again.
He should be pretty warm, but he warmed back up. He warmed up back on the second inning. So runner on third, 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch is up high for ball 2, and it is already a 2-0 count. Wagner has definitely lost a little bit of his control here. His confidence seems to have lowered, and the pitch is swung on and hit foul down the third base line for strike 1. 2-1 count now on Hartman, who's got a lot of power, especially for his size. He is just 5'6". And from up here, he looks like he's 4 feet tall. It does sort of look like that, doesn't it? And he swings over top of that slider for strike 2. So a 2-2 count on Hartman now. We'll see what he can do here. He stands up a little farther in the batter's box and takes the breaking ball down and in, and that makes this a full count with 1 out and a runner on third in the top of the fourth inning, with Homestead leading your Chargers 5-4. Wagner is set. Into the windup, the pitch is swung on and missed. Nope, it was just foul tipped, and Lewis couldn't hold on to it, so he will do it again here at a full count. Wagner is set. He is looking over at Trigloff on third. The pitch is hit into left. Goshen is trying to get it in foul territory, and he will not be able to get there. You'd think a faster runner would be able to get to that ball.
Yeah, I think not trying to put Terry Goshen down, but he's probably the slowest player on the team. But
yeah, well, I think you need speed in the outfield, but it's a full count again, and another one fouled off. Good catch by the third base coach there from Homestead.
Yeah.
And it remains a full count after the chopper foul from Hartman. So Wagner still throwing strikes, and the pitch as Hartman protecting that pitch, that is ripped under the glove of Snyder. Hartman is going for second. Goshen's throw, and he will have Hartman retreat back to first, but another run is scored as the sun peeks behind one of the clouds behind us. And it is 6-4 Homestead now, and there's still just one out here in the top of the fourth inning.
This could be Wagner's last batter if he doesn't record an out here.
It could, but nobody is warming up for Carroll in the bullpen, and that brings up Brandon Miller. And there's a pickoff move, and getting back in there safely is Hartman. Miller in the game has struck out and grounded out to third. So he is 0 for 2. And Hartman on first is pretty speedy, so they're keeping a close eye on him. First pitch is swung on and missed. Good pitch from Wagner for strike one. Now, Homestead is a pretty good baseball team. The varsity is ranked in the top 100, and there's a pickoff move. If it was a little bit lower, it probably would have had Hartman, who was not expecting it. He was leaning the other way. But it is an 0-1 count on Miller. Hartman was back in there safely, and Wagner into the windup. The pitch is a breaking ball, down and in for ball one. So it is a 1-1 count on Miller, who is playing third for Homestead today. He's made a couple of plays out in the field. And the pitch from Wagner, as Hartman is going, is bouncing. Lewis was able to keep it in front of him, but Hartman's going to get in there with the stolen base anyway. And that pitch bounced 5 feet in front of Lewis. That's just not a good pitch.
Yeah, Wagner seems like he's starting to get a little tired here.
He's not throwing a lot of strikes, and it is a 2-1 count now on Miller with Hartman in scoring position at second, and that pitch down and in. He's going again. That throw was high. Snyder a good leaping ability to catch it and keep it from sailing into left, but Hartman is safe anyway.
We've seen 4 stolen bases in this inning.
Wow.
And taking advantage of Lewis's arm.
And that was breaking ball from Wagner, hits the outside corner for strike two. So a full count with Hartman on third and one out here in the top of the fourth with Homestead leading 6-4. The pitch is swung on and ripped between short and third. Hartman will score easily, and a single for Brandon Miller.
That could be it, and yep, that looks like Blake Jackson's going to come in.
So we'll see if he will make an impact. Nope, he's still standing at the dugout there for now, as the pitching coach and catcher are going out to talk with him. And now Wagner's going to come out. Blake Jackson will come in. So we have a pitching change. And Wagner was not great. Through 3 1/3, he gave up 7 runs, and 6 of them earned. They did give up 1 run on a walk. So that is just that's not going to cut it here. And Blake Jackson's going to try to battle back. He is the relief pitching ace. He is the team's lowest ERA at just 1.91. Very impressive. He hasn't thrown a lot of innings though, just 7 1/3. He's 1-1 on the season, and he has a very low WHIP, just .682, and a good WHIP is considered in the 1.1, 1.2 range, and he's just half of that almost. And opponents are hitting just 107 off of him, and he has 9 strikeouts compared to just 2 walks.
It's pretty good.
So the first batter to face to face Jackson will be Lemke, followed by Weaver and Stevens. And let's see some observations. Jackson throws with a little bit of, he's got some decent arm speed. He's got an interesting delivery there. Brings his leg in a little. He didn't have great control on those last 2 warm-up pitches, but we'll see if he can fix that for when he starts the actual game. This warm-up from Jackson is right down the middle. And he doesn't seem to have a lot of speed, but his fastballs have some movement.
Yeah.
They're going to deceive some of the hitters, and that will bring up number 23, Alex Weaver, who has singled and scored and grounded out to short in this game. Excuse me, he's on deck. Ben Lemke is up. Lemke has grounded out to third and grounded out to second in this game, so he's 0 for 2. And the first pitch from Jackson is right over the inside corner on the fastball for strike 1. The score is 7-4 Homestead here with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Jackson set, and the second pitch is dribbled to third. Snyder going to get it, and he will throw across the diamond and get Lemke by a step for out number 2. That will allow Miller to advance to second, and will bring up Weaver, who we told you has singled and grounded out. So 1 for 2. Playing third, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities. Snyder, on the other hand, has had a few assists in this game.
Yeah, he's played pretty well.
So the first pitch to Weaver is down in the dirt on the breaking ball for ball 1. So a 1-0 count. Jackson has not thrown a lot of innings, but has been effective in what he has been able to has been throwing. And that pitch again in the dirt, good stop by Lewis, but it is a 2-0 count as Jackson just short on that pitch.
Yeah, he's thrown both these last 2 pitches in the dirt, so not good.
So the 2-0 pitch from Jackson is inside on the fastball, and it is a 3-0 count now on Weaver. So Jackson's got to settle down here after he was able to get an out from, as the pitch to Weaver is going to be ball 4 down and in. He got Lemke out, but then puts on Weaver, and it is now there are 2 runners on with 2 outs, and that will bring up Ryan Stevens, who in the game has doubled and scored and doubled and not scored. So 2 for 2. Runners on first and second, and they have an opportunity to widen their lead even further. The first pitch from Jackson is a breaking ball down and away. That one was a very slow, drawn-out breaking ball.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's got very good control of his breaking ball.
He hasn't shown great control so far in this game, even though in his first 2 appearances he didn't have that problem. The second pitch to Stevens is fouled back by, and it is a 1-1 count. With 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, Homestead is leading 7-4. So Jackson is trying to do a little bit of damage control. And the 1-1 offering, Jackson is set into the windup. The pitch is another breaking ball in the dirt, and that will bring us to a 2-1 count.
He might be trying to overthrow. It looks like he's trying to really guide his pitches into the zone, and that's causing him to leave a lot of them into the dirt.
So the 2-1 pitch from Jackson is right down Broadway with the fastball at the belt for a 2-2 count with 2 outs and 2 runners on. So he's definitely trying to just get out of this inning without allowing any more damage to be done from Homestead. Jackson's pitch is swung on and hit to short. Nichols is going to get the short out at second with the force. So that will end 3.5 innings. The score is 7-4. Homestead leading your Chargers. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, Charger fans, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. We have a new pitcher, Justin Jones, who was warming up last inning, is going to come in for Homestead, and he, as we've seen, has an interesting delivery, and he does not throw very hard at all.
No, he does not. He kind of brings his leg up to about the middle of his chest and brings his arms back and hides the ball from him.
He throws with the speed of Freddie Garcia and hides his glove like Ryan Dempster.
Yeah,
So that is an interesting combination of pitchers there, and we're gonna have Corey McRae up first for Carroll, and also after him is going to be Lane Lewis and Keegan Nichols. And the first time McRae was up, he flew out to right. So Justin Jones getting set. McCray is about ready. He steps into the batter's box. And Jones is set. The first pitch from him, with that very interesting delivery, is a fastball at the knees for a strike. And that one was a lot harder than what we saw in warm-ups.
He might have been trying to hide from the Charger batter so that he's got good velocity.
Well, the second pitch, well, yeah, that's good velocity, but not great control for ball 1.
Looks like there's activity in the Charger bullpen. Matt Meals is warming up.
Yeah, Blake Jackson didn't look all that convincing. And that pitch is fouled off by McCray. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'm intrigued by this guy's windup.
It is interesting. He hides the ball in his glove until he's almost all the way turned. And the pitch is swung on and fouled back. And he's showing a lot more velocity now.
He throws pretty good speed.
Okay, so now we can say more of Aroldis Chapman or Steven Strasburg. You know, he's right-handed, so good. But he still hides the glove though, like Ryan Dempster. And that breaking ball just fooled McCray, locked him up, and it went over the inside corner for a strikeout. And out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th.
I'm a big Reds fan. I love watching Chapman pitch, so.
I like watch. We got the baseball package, so I like to watch him sometimes. I liked watching Dontrell Willis when he was on the team.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad.
No, he wasn't, but yeah, hold on. And that first pitch to Ray Lewis is a strike at the knees. He's on the Orioles now.
Really?
Yeah. They needed pitching. So
they're doing good this year.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
And the second pitch, Lewis is able to foul back. So it is an 0-2 count now. And Jones has looked pretty good now for his first 2 batters.
Yeah.
He probably was just saving some of his energy in the warm-up tosses we saw.
Yeah.
So the 0-2 offering is swung on and missed. And the throw down to first is made. And that is a 3-pitch strikeout to Lewis. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Have a seat. Have a seat, Mr. Lewis. And Jones was just able to fool him there.
Yeah, he's both strikeouts. He's gotten the batters on a breaking ball. So
Keegan Nichols, who grounded into a double play in his first at bat, takes the first pitch slowing away for ball 1. Nichols is hitting he's hitting 280 on the season, which is respectable. Yeah. Not great, but that's pretty good. And the 1-0 offering from Jones is swung on and dribbled right back to Jones, who throws over to first for out number 3. So that was a quick 1-2-3 inning for Justin Jones and the Homestead Spartans. After 4 innings, the score is Homestead 7, your Chargers 4. And we'll be right back with the 5th here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, Charger fans, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Just about set for the top of the 5th, and we're going to have a pinch hitter. Number 3, Will Howenstein is going to bat for Nick Marr. And Howenstein takes the first pitch from Blake Jackson down and away for ball 1. Matthew Meals was warming up in the bullpen. He's still playing first now. And the second pitch from Jackson is fouled back for strike 1, a 1-1 count. Do you think if Jackson gets in trouble, they're just going to have Meals come in?
Yeah, I don't think they'll pull him after 1 batter, but if he starts stringing together 2 or 3, then they might pull him.
As that fastball from Jackson is at the knees for strike 2. So 1-2 count on Howenstein, and the pitch from Jackson is swung on and popped up over the Charger dugout for a foul ball, and the count will remain 1-2. Jackson showed decent velocity with his pitches, but his breaking ball hasn't been too sharp. And the pitch is a little bit high, so it is a 2-2 count now on Howenstein. Jackson is into the windup, and the next pitch, is a breaking ball downstairs for 3 balls and 2 strikes. We got a full count. And Jackson's payoff pitch is dribbled foul down the third base line.
Another nice play by the third base coach.
Yeah, he's been alert. He's had a couple little choppers hit to him. So Jackson is set, and into the windup he goes, and swung on and missed by Hauenstein for a strike number 3, and out number 1 here on the top of the 5th inning. That will bring up the top of the order, Kyle Mosanzada. And in the game, he has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and flied out to right. So 0 for 2 with the hit by a pitch. And Jackson into the windup. The first pitch to him is a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Jackson hasn't gotten a lot of first pitch strikes. And the second pitch is not going to be a strike either. That one, it bounces in the dirt and gets past the catcher, Lewis, and it is 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Jackson's definitely been struggling with control. He's thrown a lot more balls than strikes.
Mosanzada fouls that one back, and Lane Lewis tries to get to that one, dives backwards, but couldn't quite make the catch behind the plate. So it is a 2-1 count now on Mosanzada. And Jackson, who has pitched well so far on the season, has not allowed anything major, but his control hasn't been great, is behind 2-1, and the bunt attempt from Mosanzada right back to Jackson, and he throws to first, but Meals is forced to jump off the bag with the bad throw from Jackson, and Mosanzada will be safe on the error from Jackson on the throw. And that will put Mosanzada on first with 1 out, and that will bring up number 10, Luke Landrigan, who in the game has doubled and scored, struck out and singled and scored, and Mosanzada is on first. The pitch from Jackson is swung on, right back to him, throws to second. Wow. That throw was high, way off the bag. Mosanzada will get to third, and that's 2 consecutive errors on Jackson.
He's not helping himself, that's for sure.
Huh. That was a horrible throw.
That wasn't.
I like to call that, what was that?
That was like Carlos Boozer's pass on second. He's completely airborne.
Bulls fan, are you?
I'm a Pacers fan.
Oh. Go Knicks. And running on the play was Landrigan. The pitch is fouled back. Lewis is not going to make the catch. He couldn't quite see that one. He had an opportunity. So it is an 0-1 count, and Jackson, the throw to first was not quite as far off, but it was a bad throw. The throw to second was just out of reach. Williams didn't even try for it. It sailed into right center field. So runners run the corner with just 1 out, and Homestead already has a 7-4 lead. Jackson is set. And the runner, Landrigan, is going, and that one is blasted into deep left center field and over the head of Goshen. He couldn't quite get there. 1 run will score, and that will advance the runners to second and third, as getting in there just in time is Landrigan. And that is a double by McLean Trigloff. So there are 2 runners in scoring position. 1 run just scored. It is 8-4 Homestead now, with just 1 out in the top of the 5th, bringing up the cleanup hitter Brad Hartman. Jackson is set, and the first pitch to him is swung on and ripped right to short. And Nichols looks back the runners, and that is a big out.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Nichols there, looking the runners back, keeping the runners at bay, not letting the 9th run of the game cross for the spot.
So that will bring up Brandon Miller, who has struck out, grounded out to third, and singled in the game. He has a clear RBI opportunity here, and Jackson's first pitch to him is right down the middle at the knees for strike 1. So an 0-1 count, Jackson ahead of Miller, who has played pretty well so far today for Homestead. Jackson looks back at the runners, and the pitch hits him. It's the second hit by a pitch we've seen from Carroll pitching today, and that will load the bases with 2 outs for number 1, Ben Lemke, the right fielder. Today, Lemke has grounded out to third, grounded out to second, and grounded out to third.
Had a good day.
Isn't that creative?
Not a good day.
So 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts, but he has a big opportunity here. The first pitch to him is a fastball at the knees for strike 1. If Jackson allows a hit here, it will most likely allow at least 2 runs, possibly 3, and a home run would get 4, obviously. And, that pitch coming up and in at the head of Lemke. He was just able to get out of the way, and that is a 1-1 count.
It looks like Jackson's getting frustrated.
Lemke didn't seem to like that pitch coming up at his head.
I would.
And Jackson is set. The pitch is swung on and hit into right field, a base hit between first and second. They are waving around Trigloff, and he will score, and that will get Miller over to third, and on the 2-run single from Ben Lemke, and that will bring the score to 10-4. Homestead leading now, and Jackson hasn't quite done a lot of damage control.
He has not. I'm surprised that the coaches are leaving him in there.
So am I, as that will bring up Alex Weaver. And the first pitch to Weaver is swung on and hit between the hole at short and third. Another run scores, making it 11-4 Homestead. That will advance Lemke to second on another single from Homestead, this one by Alex Weaver, who improves to 2 of 3 with a walk on the day. That will bring up Ryan Stevens, who in the game has doubled and grounded out. So Jackson looks in, 2 runners on, 2 outs, and an 11-4 game, and that first pitch is ripped right to Nichols, throws to first for out number 3. So Carroll is able to finally end the top of the 5th inning, but they allow 4 runs, and the score now is the visiting Homestead Spartans 11, your Carroll Chargers 4. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. So, just about set for the bottom of the 5th inning, and the score, the visiting Homestead Spartans 11, your Carroll Chargers 4. And due up for Carroll is the top of the order, Sam Williams, Luke Brunner, and Matt Kent. Sam Williams has struck out and grounded out to third so far in this game, as Jones is taking a couple more warm-up tosses, and Williams is about set to step into the batter's box. 0 for 2 in the game, and there has not been a ton of offensive success for Carroll, except in the first inning when they scored 3 runs. So Jones is about set here as the base coaches get back into position. Williams steps into the box, and Jones seems about ready on the mound. We'll see his odd delivery again. And the first pitch is swung on and hit high into the air behind the catcher and trying to make the play, and it's just out of play. That one almost hit the top of the fence, just a couple of inches behind it. And that one is fouled off then for strike 1. Williams on the season hitting .446, but he is 0 for 2 today. He has no homers and 9 RBIs. He's walked 8 times this season. And the next pitch from Jones is swung on and hit to third and under the glove of Brandon Miller. That one will be an error. And Williams will get on for the first time today. And that will bring up Luke Brunner, who has singled and scored and singled and scored. Again, very creative. So 2 for 2 with 2 runs for him. Brunner has hit .273 so far on the season. And he's got a runner on first. Williams, a big threat to steal. He has 8 stolen bases on the season, twice as many as the second most, which is Grant Inman with 4. And the first pitch to Brunner is a ball up high, so a 1-0 count on Brunner.
I don't even think Inman plays JV anymore. I think he plays third for varsity now.
He does. He's a good defensive player. And that pickoff move on Williams, he is just back there in time, pretty close. So Jones gets reset back here on the mound. And Brunner is set in the batter's box. The pitch from Jones is again up and away for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike, or 2 balls and no strikes on Brunner.
He's got a pretty basic stretch delivery. It's not like the bizarre windup that he has.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, his normal delivery. And Jones's pitch is upstairs again. 3 balls and no strikes. And Brunner better not be swinging here at the 3-0 count. At least that's what my baseball coach has always told me. So Jones looks over at Williams at first, and the pitch is upstairs again, a common theme in that at bat, and that is a 4-pitch walk issued to Brunner with nobody out here in the 5th, and that will bring up Matt Kent. In the game, Kent has walked and singled, and he's got a pretty big strike zone, but he's also a good hitter. He's hitting .406 on the season. And the pitch from Jones is down and away for ball 1. So a 1-0 count on Kent. And what are you thinking of Jones here in this inning? He hasn't been as effective.
He looks uncomfortable when he's pitching from the stretch.
And he does a good pickoff move, and it's going to hit the glove of Howenstein at second base, who did, in fact, take over for, who did he take over for again? Marr. He took over for Marr. And it is a 1-0 count on Kent with no outs and 2 runners on for Carroll. The first pitch is, or the next second pitch is a fastball down the middle for strike 1. So a 1-1 count. And Williams and Brunner both threats to steals on the base paths. Excuse me. And that pitch from Jones is a breaking ball that Kent swung over top of, and it is a 1-2 count. Williams has 8 stolen bases, and Brunner has 3, and he did steal a base earlier in today's game. So Jones is set ahead 1-2 ahead of Kent, and Kent will foul this one back well out of play, and the count will remain at 1-2.
He had a nice at bat in the 3rd inning. He fouled off about 5 pitches and eventually singled.
Yep, that's good tenacious at bat right there. And that's what you want to see here with the 2-strike count. He's protecting the plate, and this one he is going to foul off. That one jammed him in on the hands. Good attempt, but could not quite get a base hit out of it. And the count again will stay at 1-2. So in the bottom of the 5th, Carroll has 2 runners on and is down 11-4. And the pitch to Kent is going to get past the catcher, and that will allow the runners to advance, and Landrigan was not able to hold that one in front of him. So there are now 2 runners in scoring position for Carroll, and they've got a chance to cut into this lead here with nobody out. We'll see what they're able to do here as Kent again set for the 1-2 pitch, and he again fouls it off. And Jones, now that both the runners are not going to be stealing here in this situation, is back to his odd windup. Do you think that makes a difference at all on the hitters?
It might. I mean, you saw how dominant he was previously from the windup.
And that fastball is up high, so the count now goes to 2-2. And Ken has definitely looked very comfortable in this at bat. Hasn't been overpowered by Jones's stuff. And he's back into the windup. The pitch is taken a little bit inside. And must have lost count of the balls there. He's going to first. So that will be a walk. I thought there were 2, but there must have been 3 before that. Excuse me. My mistake. And that will bring up Trevor Snyder. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out here for Carroll in the bottom of the 5th inning. And if you're Homestead, you try to get a ground ball and throw it home to get the force out there. Snyder in the game has singled and flew out to center. The pitch from Jones is ripped by Snyder, deep right field. Lemke is not going to get there, and that will bring home Williams. Brunner had to stay. He is now rounding rounding third, and he will score, and that is a 2-run double for Trevor Snyder, and Carroll has cut the lead to 11-6. Matt Kent is on third now with Snyder on second, and there are still no outs in the inning. Jones hasn't been so effective now.
No.
So the lead is cut to 5. Snyder has 4 RBIs on the day, bringing his season total to 8, and that cuts the lead to 11-6. That will bring up Matthew Meals, and the first pitch to him is fouled back out of play. Meals in the game has grounded into a fielder's choice and scored, and he's also flied out to right. So, with 2 runners in scoring position, Meals, who already has 15 RBIs on the season, has an opportunity to pad that. And the pitch to him is grounded to short, and that will concede 1 run as he gets Meals at first. And now Carroll's cut the lead to 11-7. That's the first out here in the inning, and that will allow Snyder to advance to third. That will bring up Taylor Goshen, who in the game has doubled and flown out to center field. So 1 for 2 for him.
He could very easily put one out of the park.
He could. He's got a big bat. And we'll see what he can do with it here. He's got a good opportunity to drive in 1 more run for Carroll. And he fouls the first one back. So an 0-1 count. Jones has been getting a lot of first pitch strikes.
A lot of them have been foul balls.
They have. Most of the foul balls we've seen have been fouled straight back. Mm-hmm. Jones is set. Snyder is on third. Into the windup is Jones, and the pitch is a breaking ball over the outside corner. Strike 2. So he's quickly ahead of Goshen. And he is pitching from that odd windup now that it doesn't appear that they're going to try to have Snyder steal home. And into the windup, the pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. So that runs the count to 1-2. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the score 11-7. Jones is set, and the first pitch, and the next pitch to Goshen is hit to first base, and Weaver will take it himself, and that will concede though 1 more run, making the score 11-8. With 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that will bring up Corey McRae. McRae in the game has flown out to right and struck out, so not a good day for him. And on the season, McRae is hitting 300, so that's definitely a respectable number. The first pitch to him is a breaking ball down and away for ball 1.
Looks like Matt Meals is jogging back down to the bullpen. He'll probably come in to pitch next inning.
It looks like it, as he could get a very short warm-up session in, as that pitch is high and tight on McRae for ball 2. So McRae ahead of Jones 2-0. And Jones back into the windup. The pitch is a breaking ball that just catches the outside corner for strike 1. A 2-1 count now on McRae. And Jones is moving pretty quickly here. He seems to be in a rhythm. And the pitch to McRae is fouled back straight out of play again. And that runs the count to 2-2 with 2 outs here. In the bottom of the 5th, Carroll has matched what Homestead did in the top of the 5th inning, and they've cut the lead back to 3. Jones into the windup, and the pitch to McRae is hit right back to Jones at the mound. He throws over to Weaver at first, and that will be the final out of the 5th inning. But Carroll strikes 4 times. They cut the lead to 11-8, and we will be right back with the 6th inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Blake Jackson is still on the mound, and he will face Howenstein for the second time in the game. And the first pitch to Will Howenstein is a strike on the outside corner. So he is ahead 0-1. Jackson's second pitch is a fastball in the dirt, and it is a 1-1 count now. And we're both surprised that Jackson's still in the game.
Yeah.
And we thought Meals was going to come in, and a breaking ball in the dirt thrown by Jackson. It is a 2-1 count now on Howenstein. And the fourth pitch from Jackson is a fastball on the inside corner for strike 2. So that makes it a 2-2 count now on Hohenstein, and Jackson quickly back into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off by Hohenstein, who struck out in his only at-bat so far in the game. He came in for Nick Mara back in the 5th inning. So with a 2-2 count and no outs in the 6th, Jackson's next pitch to him is again fouled off by Hohenstein, and the count will again remain 2-2. And Jackson's control seems to be a little bit better here so far to start the 6th. And the pitch to him is swung on and missed. The changeup Hohenstein was out in front of, and the throw is made down to first by Lewis when the ball got a little away from him. And that is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. And that is the second strikeout of the day for Hohenstein. And that will bring up Kyle Mosenzatta again. This is the 5th at bat for him in 6 innings. So they've had some good offense. And the pitch from Jackson is a little up and away for ball 1. Mosenzatta has struck out, been hit by a pitch, flew out, and reached on an error in the game. Jackson's second pitch to him is again upstairs, and it is a 2-0 count on Mosenzatta.
I'd have to imagine that Jackson's on a pretty short leash here.
His control has been very wild. And the pitch to Mosenzatta is inside. 3 balls and no strikes on Mosenzatta now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he walks him, they'll put Niels in. And that pitch is a fastball down the middle for strike 1. And a 3-1 count now on Mosenzatta. Jackson already back into the windup, and the pitch is inside for ball number 4, and Mosenzatta will walk. And it looks like they're going to leave him in here.
Interesting decision.
That will bring in Luke Landrigan, who has doubled, struck out, singled, and reached on an error in this game. Jackson is set, and the first pitch to Landrigan is a strike down the middle. 0-1 count now on Landrigan. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning with a runner on first. Jackson, pickoff move, and Mosenzatta is caught in a rundown. The throw from Niels to Nichols, who is covering the bag at second, and they will tag Mosenzatta before he can get there, and that is out number 2. So now the base paths will be empty here on the top of the 6th, and Jackson now just can focus solely on Luke Landrigan up at the plate. That was a good pickoff move. Mosenzatta thought he was about to steal a base, but Jackson had other thoughts as he throws a breaking ball in the dirt there. And that brings the count to 1-1.
Meals did a nice job of taking his time and not rushing the throw, too.
And that pitch is popped up behind the plate, and it's not going to get out of play, but Lewis didn't chase it anyway.
It hit it actually went inside one of the lights.
It did?
Yeah.
Huh. I couldn't see that from here, so thank you for that observation. And it is a 1-2 count on Landrigan. And the pitch from Snyder is over his head, and it is a 2-2 count. And Jackson has just not looked very good here on the mound.
Yeah, he's gotten these 2 outs, but he's definitely struggled.
And the pitch to Landrigan is down the middle for a strike 3 and out number 3. So that will end 5 1/2, and Homestead is held off the scoreboard there in the 6th inning. And the score after 5 1/2, Homestead 11, your Chargers 8. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Just about set for the bottom of the 6th, and Brett Peters is going to pinch hit for Lane Lewis here. The first pitch from Justin Jones is a ball outside 1-0 count. Peters on the season has not gotten a ton of opportunities. He's hitting .250 with a .455 on base percentage. So he's gotten on base almost half the time. And the pitch from Jones is a liner that is caught by Jones. It was jammed in on his hands, and he was only able to muster a line out to, I guess you could call it a line out to Jones. So a quick out for Peters, and that will bring up another pinch hitter, number 24, B.J. Beverly. He's going to be pinch hitting for Keegan Nichols, and Jones's first pitch to him is a breaking ball for a strike. Beverly, so far on the season, is hitting .379 and with a .479 on base percentage, 419 on base percentage. As he fouls that one back, and quickly ahead 0-2 is Jones. So we've seen a lot of pinch hitters now in this inning, but remember in high school, the players can come back into the game. And that pitch, Beverly was out in front of it, but still managed to foul it off, and it remains an 0-2 count. So Beverly behind 0-2, and Jones into the windup, and the pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one. The sun has set now, it seems, here, which will help the fielders. And there's 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th on Beverly. Jones is just about set, and the pitch from him to Beverly is fouled off down the first base line, and it will remain a 1-2 count. Beverly's looked pretty good in his swing so far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's taking a couple nice cuts. He just hasn't been able to get around on a couple pitches.
And the pitch from Jones is swung on and grounded right back to him, and he will flip it to Weaver at first for out number 2. So Jones has been busy fielding his position here in the 6th. He's recorded 2 straight outs, and that will bring up the, is that another pinch hitter?
Another pinch hitter, number 27, Austin Ward.
Yep. So, wow, there's been a lot of strategy in this game. Luke Brunner is on deck, though, so he won't be pinch hit for if he gets up. Austin Ward, this will be his 7th game played. He is hit .357 so far and has a .500 on base percentage with no homers and 1 RBI. He is locked up on the breaking ball there for strike 1. That was right down the middle. That was a good breaking ball. Started at his wrists and then cut into the middle of the plate. Second pitch is swung on and missed by Ward. He was under the fastball, and it is quickly 0-2.
These pinch hitters are anxious. A lot of them have been taking some big cuts.
Well, I know all 3 of them so far are all freshmen, and they do seem a little bit anxious as Ward pops this one up into foul territory, and it will get out of play. And the count remains 0-2. They just need to relax a little bit, and they'll be fine. So Jones has not allowed a base runner in this inning. He looks pretty like he is ready here and shakes off the catcher now into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back by Ward. And the count remains 0-2. So this game has been moving a little bit slower than most of the ones we've seen lately, but is still in the bottom of the 6th. And Jones's pitch is over the head of Ward. He has to duck to avoid it, and that will bring the count to 1-2. So Ward, who has struck out 5 times already this season in just 14 at-bats, takes ball too low, and so that'll bring it to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the inning. And the pitch to Ward is swung on and missed for strike 3. And that will be a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Jones on the mound. And that will be the end of 6th. The score is 11-8. Homestead leading your Chargers. We'll be right back with the 7th and final inning here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. Blake Jackson is still on the hill, and he will face the heart of the order for Homestead. McLean, Trigloff, Brad Hartman, and Brandon Miller. Trigloff in the game is hitting 3rd, and he will bat first, and the first pitch is fouled up out of play. And Trigloff in the game has singled, walked, reached on an error, and doubled. No, he's
Yes,
double.
that is a double.
Nope, he's got two doubles.
Two doubles.
Never mind. A 1 count on him, and that pitch is down and away with the breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson has given up 4 runs so far. Hold on, and the pitch is a breaking ball at the knees. 4 strike 2, a 1-2 count. He has been able to get through the 2 2/3 so far. He's done a little bit better than Wagner was doing.
Yeah.
And the pitch is another breaking ball. This one in the dirt, misses low, and it is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Trigloff. And Jackson is quickly back into the windup. The pitch is swung on and missed. Good breaking ball. And that will be out number 1 of the inning. Carroll is still down by 3 runs, though. The score 11-8. And that will bring up Brad Hartman, who in the game has flew out, singled, and grounded out to short. First pitch to him is hit into deep left field. That one's going to be over the head of Goshen. Did a 2-hop off the wall. Goshen on the warning track makes the throw. Hartman is going to stay at second with a double. And he hit that one hard.
Yeah, a nice line drive. If he would have had a little more under it, that might have had a chance of getting out.
He has a lot of power for his size. And that will bring up Brandon Miller, who in the game has struck out, grounded out to third, singled, and been hit by a pitch. This is the 5th at bat for the Homestead hitters in just the 7th inning. I mean, there has not been a lot of great pitching from Carroll. Blake Jackson's pitch is a breaking ball that is downstairs for ball 1. And there is some more activity in the bullpen as McLean Triggeroff is going to warm up a little bit here. And he might come in for the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 count on Miller, and Jackson's pitch is way up high. And that makes it 2 balls, no strikes on Miller, who is 2 for 3 in the game with the hit by a pitch also. And he has played some good defense for Homestead, as Jackson's pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt, good block by Lewis, and that will bring the count to 3 balls and no strikes with 1 out here, and Brad Hartman on second here in the top of the 7th. Jackson's been moving quickly. He seems to be in a little bit of a rush, as the pitch is taken as a strike at the knees. So that brings the count to 3-1. And we'll see if he can come all the way back from being down 3-0, as Jackson's next pitch is grounded right back to him. He's not going to be able to reach it, trying to get there in time, and another bad throw, again past Meals. Brad Hartman will score, and I don't know why, but Brandon Miller did not advance past first.
I couldn't tell you. He looked like he had plenty of time to advance.
So that will bring the score to 12-8. Homestead in the lead now on the 3rd error of the game by Blake Jackson.
He's not having a good day.
No, he isn't. Yeah, and his fielding has been horrible.
Yeah, if you're a field player and you make 3 errors, you're obviously struggling. If you're a pitcher and you make 3 errors, you're not doing something right.
So that'll bring up Ben Lemke, and the first pitch to him is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Lemke in the game is grounded out to third, grounded out to second, grounded out to third, and singled. So he's 1 for 4, and he's got Miller on first with 1 out here. And he rips this one into left field. Goshen is going to cut it off, and that will advance Miller to second, and that is the second consecutive base runner for Homestead, as Miller reached on another error from Jackson on the mound. And that will bring up Alex Weaver. He is singled, grounded out, walked, and singled, so 2 for 3. And now the pitching coach is coming out for Carroll, and there will be a new pitcher here, as not running out to the mound there. That's interesting. There's going to be an alignment. Luke Brunner is going to come in. Taylor Goshen is going to move over to right, it looks like.
Yeah.
Matt Kent's going to come to center, and Corey McCray is going to go out into left. And now Matthew Mills is going to pitch, and they'll put Luke Brunner on first base.
A lot of defensive rearrangements.
So Matthew Mills will try to get the last 2 outs of the game. And on the season, Mills has gotten into 3 games. He is 0-3. Has thrown 15 in the third innings. He has a 4.57 ERA. He's 20 hits in 15 in the third innings, 14 strikeouts compared to 4 walks, and hitters are hitting .299 against him.
It's 4.57 ERA is not terrible. You'd obviously like to be a little lower, but this hasn't been horrible.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get 2 outs here, and that'll lower it a little bit. And so we just saw Lemke get the hit. That'll bring up Weaver and up Stevens. And Weaver in the game is 2 for 3 with a walk, as I think I just said.
Yeah.
And Stevens has 2 doubles and 2 groundouts. So 2 for 4. And Meals is throwing with good velocity.
Yeah, he throws pretty hard. He's got a pretty good kind of a slurve, but the thing is, one of his problems is just being able to control it.
Well, he got the pitch for varsity once, and he did not do well. His varsity ERA is 31.5.
Yeah, he does throw hard, though, so.
Yep, well, it's a lot lower here at the JV level, and we'll see as Alex Weaver is just about set as he's going to retrieve a foul ball for him. And so Weaver is ready. Matthew Mills is ready to face him, but he has gotten the loss in all 3 games so far. But he will not get the loss in this game unless he pitches an extra innings and then they lose. So Mills is ready to face Weaver. The first pitch is a breaking ball down low for ball 1. And there are 2 runners on with just 1 out, and Homestead still already up 12-8. They already have 1 run here in the 7th. Mills is moving slower than Jackson was moving, and the pitch from Mills is swung on and fouled back, and for strike 1, and that had a lot of velocity on it.
Yeah, he's really got good arm speed. He doesn't get a whole lot of drive out of his legs, but he brings his arm around pretty quickly.
So we'll see how much force he gets a lot of force with his throws, and the sun's peeking back out now as Mills makes the 1-1 delivery, a breaking ball that is low and away for ball 2. 2-1 count now. Mills just needs to have better control. His whip is over 1.5, which is not very good. His numbers are just a little above average. He needs to bring them down. And that one is ripped, and a good stop by Williams. Throws to Nichols, who couldn't hold on to it. He was rushing, trying to get the double play, didn't hold on to it, and that is definitely going to be an error on Nichols. Yeah. And that will load the bases once again for number 20, Ryan Stevens.
That's got to be pretty frustrating for not just Mills, but for the whole Charger defense. You think
that's got to be 7 errors?
It's got to be close to something like that.
I know I'm close. It might be 6.
Yeah.
And I'm not really exaggerating there. The first pitch to Stevens is outside. Good stop by Lewis. And my goodness, the pitching has not been good in this game.
Nothing really has been good from the Chargers. I mean, they've had decent offense, but other than that, nothing's been going right.
So the bases are loaded. Mills' pitch to Stevens is fouled off, and that will bring the count to 1-1. With 1 out and the bases loaded here in the top of the 7th, Homestead already has a 4-run lead. So we'll see if Mills can rebound here and get an out. A grounder, they'll try to get the out at home. And that one is fouled back by Stevens, and the count is 1-2. Mills does throw very hard.
Yeah.
His breaking ball doesn't have a lot of break on it, so he is more of a fastball pitcher. We'll see what that can do for him if he can get a strikeout here on Stevens. The pitch from Mills is a breaking ball, and it was a check swing, and he went around, says the third base umpire, and that will be out number 2. So a strikeout from Mills, that will keep the bases loaded. That will bring up Howenstein. I'll get used to that eventually. Howenstein struck out twice in this game for Homestead. The first pitch to him is at his head. He has to duck and get out of the way again. And it is a 1-0 count. So Mills falls behind again. We've seen that a few times since he's come into the game. And he sets, into the windup. The throw is a breaking ball down and away, and he falls behind 2-0 on Will Howenstein. This is a dangerous situation. Homestead could really break open this game. And that one is a breaking ball. Howenstein able to fight it off and foul it back for strike one. So that brings the count to 2-1. Howenstein has just been a little bit in front of some of the pitches so far today, as Meals gets the sign from the catcher and into the windup. The pitch is ripped into right center field, drifting over and not going to get there is Goshen. That will score 2 runs, and that will advance the runners to second and third, and the score is 14-9. And that is not what you want to do if you're Matthew Meals. And that will bring up, for the 6th time in this game, the leadoff hitter, Kyle Musanzada.
This game is taking forever.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going on 2 hours.
And the pitch from Meals is way up high. He's a little frustrated.
Yeah, you can tell just by the way he threw that one that he just kind of wants to get it over with.
So it is a 1-0 count on him, and that one is ripped, and that's going to get through the hole between second and short. That will score 1 run, and coming in is Howenstein. He will be safe, and going to second is Musanzada. He's safe, and that brings the score to 16-9.
Oh my.
So Meals is just not done the job people have wanted from him, as we might be having a little bit of technical difficulties. It seems to be working, but we'll just try to get it through the rest of the game here.
Yeah.
And that will bring up Luke Landrigan again, as Homestead's batted around. Musanzada is on second, and that one is fouled off by Landrigan, and it is an 0-1 count now on him. Meals just needs to get one more out here, and he'll be out of the 7th inning, and Carroll will try a last-ditch attempt for a comeback. Meals is set, looks at the runner at second, and steps off and to check on Musanzada. You know, after 2 hours and 6 at-bats, you'd think I'd be able to get that name right by now.
It's a tough name.
It is. And the pitch is a breaking ball strike. Musanzada going, and not a very good throw from Lewis again. 0-2 count on Landrigan, but another stolen base.
Yeah, Lewis has not been able to keep the Spartan running game at bay.
So the score is 16-8, and it's going to be very possibly 17-8 with another hit. So we'll see what Meals can do here. And the pitch is outside for ball 1, a 1-2 count now on Landrigan. And in the game, Landrigan has doubled, struck out, singled, reached on an error, and struck out again. So the pitch from Meals is popped up. He was way in front of it. Lewis trying to get there, and he's not going to get to it, as it is out of play, and the count remains 1-2.
I wonder if Homestead has any subs. I mean, is it that they're going through the order for the 6th time, and they're up 8 runs? I'd imagine that we might want to give some other kids some playing time, but
we'll see. Some of the starters are out, and that one is hit down to third base. Snyder is going to keep it in front of him, make the throw across the diamond, and he will beat Landrigan by about a step. So that will end at the top of the 7th inning, but Homestead adds 5, pads their lead. Last chance for the Chargers, down 16-8 here. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 7th here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. We're just about set for the bottom of the 7th and most likely final inning here, as Carroll is down 16-8, and due up are the 2-3-4 hitters, Luke Brunner, Matt Kent, and Trevor Snyder. By comparison, this is Brunner's 4th at bat, while the top of the order of Homestead has 6. So even though we have 8 runs, or the Chargers have 8 runs, Homestead's been a lot better on offense. As the pitch from Justin Jones is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1 on Brunner. Brunner has singled and scored, and walked and scored. A lot of variety for Luke Brunner. And he is ahead of Jones 1-0, or 1-0. The pitch from Jones is swung on and hit to second, and that takes a funny hop, no, Brunner beats the throw by half a step from Will Howenstein, and that will put a runner on from Matt Kent, and we'll see if Carroll's going to give us a rally here.
Would you call that an error or a single?
I'd say it's an error.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That one, he should have made a better throw.
Yeah.
So Matt Kent comes up. He has walked and scored, singled and walked and scored again. So Kent has an RBI opportunity, and he swings at the first pitch from Jones and misses under it. 0-1 count now on Kent. Brunner on first is stolen 1 base today. We'll see if he steals another one, as they're keeping an eye on him. And the pitch from Jones is swung on and hit to third. Good stop there by Miller. Gets 1 and going to second. And throw brings Weaver off the bag, or they would have had the game-ending double play. Or not the game-ending, but they would have gotten them 2 outs. Instead, they're going to get 1 out. And Kent will replace runner at first, so there will be 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And that will bring up Trevor Snyder. Snyder in the game has singled, flown out center, and doubled and scored a run. Jones is set, and the first pitch to Snyder is swung on and missed for strike 1. 0-1 count. Snyder on the season has hit .298 with a very high .421 on-base percentage. And the next pitch to him is up high for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. With 1 out and a runner on first. How about that? Okay. There's nothing.
I'm kind of zoned.
Jones, and that pitch is up and in on Snyder, and that brings it to 2-1. So Carroll has scored 8 runs in the game, just half of what Homestead's been able to produce. So they are just down to 2. They have 2 outs to work with, and Snyder pops this one up high into the air. Howenstein in shallow right, called off, and he is not going to be able to make the catch, but he throws to second, and they will get the force on Kent because he was not expecting Howenstein to make that, to not catch it. So Brett Hartman will get the out on the error from Hartman, and now another new runner on first is Snyder, and the Chargers are down to their final out. Matthew Niels is up for the 4th time. He has reached on a fielder's choice and scored, flew out, and grounded out. Jones's first pitch to him is a little up high for ball 1. So a 1-0 count. Jones has looked pretty good in this inning. We'll see if he can just finish off the game here. And the pitch from Jones is swung on and hit hard into deep center field. Mosenzato going back, and he makes a nice catch using his extended reach to end the game. So that one, he showed his speed and his reach and his length. Yeah. And that will end the game here from the Theodore Gorsuch Athletic Complex. The final score, the visiting Homestead Spartans 16, your Carroll Chargers 8. We'll be right back with your post-game show here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your post-game show here on CSBN, your worldwide leader in Charger sports. And Chris, wrapping up the game here, what did you see?
Out of the Chargers, I saw terrible pitching. Isaac Wagner, Blake Jackson, Matt Meals, they gave up 16 runs. The Spartans batted around 6 times. Well, not batted around anything, but they're going through the order for the 6th time.
In 7 innings.
Yeah, in 7 innings, yeah. Poor defense. There's a lot of errors. Positives on the offensive side. Luke Brunner reached base all 4 times along with Matt Kent. So the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Chargers were actually pretty solid. Terry Goshen had a nice double in the first, but other than that, they really just were not able to mount a rally. And
normally 8 runs will be enough to win you a game.
yeah,
But not when you give up 16 with the atrocious pitching. Like my vocabulary.
looks like they're doing some sprints down on the.
Yep, they always do a couple little post-game drills. And then for Homestead, what did they do well?
They did a lot of things well. They hit the ball very hard. I mean, credit them for putting the bat on the ball and getting hits and piling on runner after runner. Pitching, Justin Jones was very effective with his interesting windup. Defense, third baseman, Brandon Miller, he made a couple nice plays at the hot corner. And at the end of the game, Kyle Motion Zeta was out of it. We can't get that name down. He made a very nice running play in the left power alley.
Well, in my opinion, Carroll's offense was sporadic and good at times. They were good in the first and I believe the fourth when they scored 4 runs.
Yeah.
Other than that, they were held off the score sheet other than 1 run in the second inning, I believe.
Yeah.
And Homestead was consistent. They scored runs in 6 of the 7 innings, I believe. And then the pitching, I don't think they were so athletic complex. Justin Jones was fairly CSBN. You're well, but it's Charger Sports. They still gave up 8 runs, which is not good. It's now when you give up 8 runs and still win by 8, your hitters have bailed you out. But I don't think they pitched very well. And I'd like to point out that Homestead did very well with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
They sure got a lot of RBIs with those opportunities. They had 15 earned runs. They did get 1 run on a walk.
Yeah.
But they played a good offensive game. Their defense was better than Carroll's, but they did have a couple of errors.
Yeah.
And Carroll had, how many errors did they have today? Let's count them. I see, oh man, they didn't happen until like the 4th inning. But okay, 1, 2, okay, there weren't 7, but there were 4. But that's still not good. I thought it was a little more than that. A couple hits, balls that were ruled hits could have been ruled errors, but the defense was not very good for the Chargers, I'll say. And then some upcoming broadcasts for you. You can see the next game is on Thursday when the varsity boys will take on Columbia City in an NHC matchup. Oh yeah, this was an NHC matchup. We forgot to mention that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, well, better late than never. You can see the JV boys again on Saturday when they are home with a doubleheader against Snyder. And the girls will next play on Monday night against DeKalb at 6:30. So that's the next time you can see all 3 levels be broadcast here at CSBN. And you have any final thoughts, Chris?
Keep working hard for these last 11 days of school. Stay through finals.
I look forward to the summer. I look forward to it. I'm sure all the players do too.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can make another run for the varsity boys in the state championship and try to make it back to back to back.
I think they've got a tough sectional, but I think they can get out of it. But
they can do it. We know they're talented enough.
Yeah.
But they've beaten some tough teams, but they also got killed by Huntington North 11-1.
Huntington North is very good, though. They're top 3 in the state, so
True.
They wouldn't see them till regionals, I believe. So
True.
Possible matchup there.
All right. My final thought here is Carroll. You got to pitch better and play better defense. The offense though was pretty good. And we'll see if they can improve that in their next games on Saturday against Snyder. So that'll wrap it up here at CSBN. For Chris Schutte, I'm Matthew James. We'll see you next time here.
This is Dave Ginder, head baseball coach of the back-to-back state champion Chargers, and you're listening to Charger Baseball on CSBN, the worldwide leader in Charger sports. 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 In Charger sports, 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 in Charger sports,